4 different ways. 1. Marry a Texan. 2. Own property in Texas for 1 year. 3. Hold a job in Texas for 1 year. 4. Own a business in Texas for 1 year. So naturally, I started a business. I registered my business with the state and filed taxes every quarter. I had 0 expenses and 0 income every quarter, so I paid nothing in taxes. 1 year later I got on that in-state tuition. It cost me around $200 to register my business, and it saved me tens of thousands of dollars. Sat down and read my graduation requirements for university and went through all the classes that could cross across different fields. My university allowed for some classes to count twice if used for different degrees. In the public university system I graduated in 4 years. With over 180 credit hours. And 3 degrees. All for the same price as people who were taking the minimum amount of classes. I was informed by my old academic advisor that the university changed their rules after my graduation because of me. In high school, my Spanish teacher had a stack of 30 note cards, with each of our names written on them. She would pick from those cards almost every day to choose who would answer the next question. In the first week of school, I saw the cards on her desk. Saw mine on top. Quickly took it and threw it away. Never got called on the whole year. I sit in on college and graduate level courses without signing up or paying even the reduced audit fees. I simply show up on the first day of class early. Wait for the teacher to be free for a minute. And ask if they mind if I sit in. 9 times out of 10 they'll let me sit in on lectures. 7 out of 10 on discussion groups. I do this simply because I enjoy learning. And even if teachers aren't supposed to let me sit in, they are in charge of enforcing that and enjoy teaching to engaged students, so they're generally happy to have me. There are even schools which allow you to test for credits so you can turn this free education into a quick and cheap degree when you've done enough of it. When I was 10, I typed in a fake birthday into RuneScape so that I could play the game. I buy regular tomatoes instead of cherry tomatoes and cut them up really small. You know you can go to jail for this, right? I've already informed the proper authorities. I don't poop at home so I can poop at work and be paid for taking a dump. On my first real job I worked in an office. I ended up calculating how much money I made every minute after taxes and then kept track of how long my poops were. At the end of the summer, I had recorded almost $200 worth of poop. So I was 11 years old and at a water park with my family. I really wanted to go to Burger King that day. And my dad had said repeatedly no way. He didn't have the money for that. They had this system where when you arrive, you bought a bracelet for $4, which you could exchange for a tube to ride around on stuff. At the end of the day, you'd return the bracelet and they'd give you $1. It was around the middle of the day. And there were people both coming and going. And there was a really long line at the stand to get return bracelets. So I sold my bracelet to some guy at the back of the line for $3. He didn't have to wait. And I gave him $1 off. So all good. Then I took that $3 and went and bought back 3 bracelets from people waiting to return them. I gave them the same price they'd get at the booth. But they didn't have to wait. I took those 3 bracelets and sold them to other people at the back of the line for $3. Rinsed and repeated a bunch of times. Spent about a half an hour hustling. Went back to my dad with $40 and gave it to him. And explained how I got it. Asked if we could go to Burger King now. He was like, yeah. You win. Whoppers were on me that day. I never graduated high school. I went back a year later and told the office clerk that I had graduated and didn't get my diploma. They gave me my diploma and now I've been working in the school system for 10 years. I'm confused. Could they not look at your transcript and see you didn't actually get enough credits to show that you didn't graduate? If so, and if they find this out, you could be fired on the spot. In both 7th and 8th grade I could change the score I got at the end of my test by simply entering correct answers equals 20 into the JavaScript console. I just looked into the code to find this JavaScript function. The website dev needs to work on his skills before releasing a website to thousands of students. I put $15 on a debit card I never use and monthly subscribed for Spotify. The next month they obviously had a problem processing my payment, but continued to give me premium service. It's been 5 months and their system still hasn't caught it. It's a trap. I'm from Spotify. I have the school bell audio recorded on my phone and played 2 minutes before class is supposed to end. Yes, it has worked. When I was still at school, me and some friends, would often pretend to pack our things 5 minutes before the lesson ended. Sometimes, the spark ignited and the rest of the class would, unconsciously, pack their things too, thus forcing the teacher to end the lesson out of social pressure. Or maybe it convinced him that he just didn't notice the bell. Or whatever. 5 minutes more break. Yay. Edit. Subconsciously. Not unconsciously. Thanks for pointing that out. I still have my student ID which did not have a date on it and the picture is incredibly dark. I still get discounts on occasion using my student ID and still have my email which I use for a ton of free software. Had to park in New Orleans for a week. Was going to cost $140. Went to post and if you lost your ticket it was only $50. I didn't lose my ticket. But I said I did. Take that system. If I need to leave my car in an unfamiliar city, I just park it near the back of the Walmart parking lot. There's always people around. It's well lit. And most Walmarts have pretty good cameras trained on the lot. The longest I've done it is 2 nights. But they don't seem to care. We figured out how to skip school every Thursday afternoon for 5 years without being caught. At my school Thursday afternoon was sport. You had to sign up for a sport at the start of each term and names were checked off to make sure you signed up. Then you get kicked out of the sport you signed up to. For some reason my school offered fishing as a sport. The teacher that took it was super passionate about fishing and hated anyone who didn't take it seriously. So every term we turn up to first fishing session with broom handles with string and paper clips tied to them as our rods and boom. Kicked out of fishing. So the teacher sends a note to the office with the next roll sheet that we're no longer on the roll. This isn't uncommon because you're allowed to change sports in the first 2 weeks in case you sign up for something and then don't like it. The school's system works so that the office ladies only enter in the system if you're absent and you're otherwise assumed to be present. But now we're not on any roll and we don't get marked absent anywhere. Burger King Whopper is $4.79. Whopper JRs are and $1.39. You can buy 3 JRs for the price of a Whopper. Wow, so cheap. It costs way more than that in the UK. I convinced my high school system I was emancipated when I was 15 with no supporting paperwork. I got to know the secretary and asked once what I needed on their end because I was getting emancipated. I would check in every week or so, say hi, and just try and be nice. After about 3 months I walked in very excited, explaining how I was getting my own place and had a job. She filed my paperwork immediately and from that point on I controlled my supervision in high school. I wrote my own notes, had my own phone number as the contact info and could sign off on anything that required a parent's signature. I went through the rest of school like this and my family never found out. And yes, I graduated. The cafe in my office building sells soup. 12 ounces, $1.39. 16 ounces, $2.79. The lady at the register always thinks I'm weird for buying 2 smalls. They also have a rewards but 9 get your 10th free. And I get double punches for my 2 soups. About 25 years ago I made an $800 purchase on a credit card. It was charged twice. The CC company called me to inquire about it and I told them it was a duplicate. 10 minutes later they called again so I explained again it was a duplicate entry. Apparently both reps deleted the charge. So I sat with a plus $800 balance for a few months until I closed the card and they sent me a check. Stealing? I guess so in the end. But I'm still sleeping pretty well. This ice cream chain used to have this ice cream card where you deposited money to a chip card, and if you paid with it you'd get a discount. Turned out that the amount of money on the card was just some variable in its memory, and no particular security around it. A few lines of code and some instructions, and the card would always reset back to $10 automatically. Free ice cream ahoy. That's stealing. Either stealing in a very clever way or it's fraud. Definitely theft. While we did jack some free ice cream, it never really tasted good. We mostly took pride in being 1337 hacks 0 RS. It wasn't intentional, but I got a free $60 bus ride last year. I accidentally booked my trip for the wrong day and didn't realize until I was already in line, waiting for my bus, a 12-hour ride that crossed an international border. The driver told me that the bus I had bought was scheduled to leave tomorrow and that I couldn't get on this one. I was upset, since I had already taken a 2-hour bus ride to get to this bus station and it was about 1 AM. He felt bad, and since there was one extra seat on the bus, let me take it. The next day, after I'd arrived, I got an email saying that, due to snow, ice, bad road conditions, my bus was cancelled. You had the choice to either reschedule or get a refund. I would have done nothing. But it even said that if you didn't reschedule within 72 hours or so, they would just issue a refund. Boom. Free trip. Earphones always eventually break on me, so when I buy new ones I get the extended warranty. 10 months later, when one ear invariably stops working, I go back and, using the extended warranty, get another pair for free. Except then I buy an extended warranty for the second pair for £3.99 or whatever. 10 months later, replace the replacement pair and buy another warranty. etc. 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 Now I'm regularly getting a new pair of £150 earphones for all of £4 a year. Cancel your Audible subscription and they'll immediately offer to prevent your cancellation by offering you 50% off for 3 months. Hulu do this as well. You can get Hulu for free using Bing Rewards. You do maybe 2 minutes of work a day and it pays for the subscription. Bonus points if you do the Bing searches during Hulu's commercials. I ran a script on my computer that would automatically search for things based out of a keyword text file. It would log out of one MS account, log into the other one, and then search again. I had 5 accounts and made about $50 on Amazon before they caught on and disabled my accounts. Not something I do anymore, but something I used to do. I worked at a takeaway restaurant. One of the few perks for the employees was that if you worked an opening or closing shift, you received a free lunch and drink from the menu. Because of my schedule, I used to get quite a few of these shifts. At the time, there was also a promotion going on with Coca-Cola. Basically, whenever you bought a bottle, you could use the code on the label to earn points on the Coca-Cola website. You can probably see where this is going now. Basically, I was able to drink several bottles of Coke each week, input the codes, and then earn a ton of points, all without paying a cent. Over the course of just a few months, I received enough points for a PS3 game and an iTunes card. Unfortunately, there was an incident, and suddenly employees weren't allowed free lunches anymore. But it was a nice bonus while it lasted. Good for my wallet. Not so good for my teeth. I was at university doing an internship during my 3rd year, but showed up to the semester orientation for first years and got free Subway and other freebies. Some 2nd year student assumed I was a first year and I just went along with it because I enjoy any opportunity to practice my lying. In Canada we got rid of the penny a few years back. So whenever you purchase something that's say $10.21 you would pay $10.20, and if something is $10.24 you'd pay $10.25. Anyways, whenever I pump gas I always pump 2 cents over and get 2 cents of gas for free. Duck the system. TV broke. Had replacement cover. TV went away to be fixed. A week later a letter arrived stating TV couldn't be fixed. Go to the store with said letter and ID to receive replacement TV. I didn't open this letter when it arrived. It got jumbled up in a pile of crap I had. Anyway, about a week on from an opened letter arriving, my TV turned up good as new. Happy days. Then I found said letter, opened it, took myself to the store, and received a brand new TV for free. Now I have two. Winner winner. What's more, the value of the replacement didn't match the valuation. They gave me a £40 voucher on top. Edit, not insurance, but replacement cover. Apparently it's different. Last month, Shop House, Southeast Asian Kitchen owned by Chipotle, sent out coupons to the residents of my neighborhood. One of the two coupons was one free rice, noodle, or salad bowl, with no restrictions. I live in an apartment, and some of my neighbors threw the coupons into the junk mail recycling bin without realizing what they were doing. For the days following the delivery of these coupons, I searched the bins for these coupons. I ended up with enough coupons to last me the whole month. With all the addings, 4x meat, 2x or 3x veggie, 2x curry, my average bowl is valued at $16. Multiplied by 30 coupons equals $480 of free food. This one time on vacation 3 of us went to lunch and bought mimosas. They gave us a bottle of champagne and a jar of orange juice. We each had a mimosa, but we still had half a bottle of champagne but no orange juice. The waitress came around and filled up our orange juice jar. We all had a nice glass of orange juice from the orange juice jar. Then the waitress came back and refilled the orange juice jar again. Boom. Unlimited orange juice. We drank orange juice like kings for the rest of that lunch. Before that day I've never had enough orange juice at a restaurant, but I will tell you this, my friends. Life is different after you've had enough orange juice at a restaurant. Food tastes better. The air seems fresher. You'll have more energy and self-confidence than you ever dreamed of. Back at the fast food place I worked for in high school, we would get half off everything including gift cards. I could buy a $20 card for $10 and then use that $20 card to buy more half off food, effectively turning $10 into $40. Unfortunately that didn't last too long. Morrowind and Oblivion put my character in a dark corner, crouching, and stuck the analog stick forward. Character keeps running into the wall. Sneak plus athletics skill increases. Bow. I own a motorcycle but don't have a garage, so during winter months I take my motorcycle to the pawn shop and take $100 loan on it. They store it and keep it garaged and I pay them $10 a month to keep renewing my loan and keeping the motorcycle there. In the mid 90s there was a 20-ounce cola that had instant winners of another free cola under the cap. If you had a winner all you had to do was give the cap to the cashier and grab another. I don't remember if it was Coke or Pepsi, but I remember it was a yellow cap for this promotion. Anyways, all you had to do was hold the bottle at the correct angle and you could see in the reflection of the liquid the text on the underside of the cap. You could mostly see if it was a winner or sorry try again. We used to get a bunch of free colas that way when I was a kid. All you had to do was buy one to get it started. I had been wanting an iPhone for some time, but the only local carrier was Sheet, not even price wise, but with signals and coverage. Anyway, out of nowhere, a new challenger carrier appeared where you could purchase from their website. I dithered around too long and they sold out a couple hours after launch. Being a stubborn nerd, I didn't want to take no for an answer. Now, the following will seem weird to people, but I make websites for a living. I have dev tools installed and love to check out how other sites do things. So I opened up a browser inspector. Lo and behold, the online store did not remove the add to cart button from the page, but simply hid it with CSS. I unhid it and started the checkout process, assuming it would do an inventory check and shut me down. Nope. Made it through the checkout process for my shiny new iPhone. A couple days later I get a call from the carrier and I freak out thinking they are calling to bust me. Turns out they just call to verify addresses for new customers and all was well. I'm still a loyal customer 5 years later. And I'm so sorry to the poor chap who didn't get his iPhone because of a shitty online store that let me order it instead. At my old school, the coffee machine had more buttons than the offer choices. If you pressed on those buttons, there were other coffee choices that weren't programmed by the school. You could get free espresso all day long. The red light said don't walk. But I walked. Every New Yorker ever. About 10 years ago me and a friend never paid for a bus. Oyster cards were pretty new. Contactless card you can put money on to pay for London Tube and bus. Got the same beep sound that would play when the card registered on my phone and played it at as I put a different card up to the machine. Bus drivers were lazy, didn't care about free travel. Not me but my brother. Worked at a supermarket that gave rewards points to a gas station for using the supermarket's loyalty card. It was a weird cross promotion. Anyways, when someone would go to check out and didn't have a loyalty card he offered to scan his own instead. He received about $1,000 in free gas.